Hello guys. This is the Orange Hokage here. And today we are doing What If Naruto Went Back in Time with Sakura Part 3. The link of the original creator story is in the description. So let's get right into the story. Hokage-sama, is it true that the Kyuubi has escaped? A civilian counselor asked with fear in his voice as Hiruzen walked into the council meeting chamber. Hiruzen just ignored the man and took his seat. He placed a folder in front of him before he opened it up and checked the contents. For the next few minutes, Hiruzen checked each of the papers within the folder while the civilian council fidgeted. The Shinobi Council, on the other hand, was staring at Hiruzen with stoic expressions. One of the elders, a man with bandages covering half of his face and his right arm, stared at Hiruzen with an unreadable expression. After what felt like hours, Hiruzen put down the papers before turning his attention to the assembled council. As you know, about 2 hours ago, the Kyuubi was seen battling an old toad at Training Ground 9, Hiruzen said, causing everyone to nod in agreement. I shall tell you now, that it was a sanctioned spar between our allies the Toad Summon Clan and the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, wielding the full power of the Kyuubi as a fully realized Jinchuriki. Do you mean to say that you allowed the demon brat to release the Kyuubi? One of the civilian counselors asked in an accusatory tone, causing Hiruzen to focus his killing intent on the fool. Anbu, have that man arrested and publicly executed for breaking my law, Hiruzen commanded, causing a female Anbu with a dragon mask to appear and drag the man out of the room after knocking him out. Now does anyone want to interrupt me again? No, Hokage-sama, but may I ask what you meant by fully realized Jinchuriki? Hyuga Hayashi, the present head of the Hyuga clan, asked, getting a nod from Hiruzen. Ahem. A cough interrupted Hiruzen before he could speak. Turning to the source, Hiruzen saw the bandaged elder had coughed. Yes, Danzo. May I explain, Hiruzen? Hiruzen became suspicious but nodded. My fellow counselors, a fully realized Jinchuriki are Jinchuriki who has the full power of their Bijū under their control to the point of taking up the form of the beast sealed within them. Until now there have been only 2 other fully realized Jinchuriki. The Yondaime Mizukage, the Sanbi Jinchuriki, and Kairabi, the Hichibi Jinchuriki of Kumo. However, what surprises me is how the child became a fully realized Jinchuriki without formal training. Danzo said, causing Hiruzen to realize what the old Warhawk was after. Seeing that the whole council was looking at him for answers, Hiruzen sighed in defeat. I also don't know how he did it. The only thing I know is that he and a friend of his, Haruno Sakura, have been hiding their true abilities for as long as they have been in the academy. Young Naruto is also a sage like Hashirama-sensei was. He created his own variant of Senjutsu, and finding it incomplete, he studied the flow of Senjutsu chakra within a toad summon fighting against a snake summon in the Forest of Death and recreated it. Even the sages of Myabakuzen were surprised. Their great elder, who normally remains in a trance, came personally to test Naruto-kun. While testing him, that was the sanctioned spar, Gamamaru-sama told him something, causing him to suddenly become a master in wind manipulation while in Senin Modo. The spar ended when Naruto fainted from the strain of using the full power of the Kyuubi along with Senin Modo at the same time. As of this moment, Gamamaru-sama has decided to take Naruto-kun in as his first apprentice since training the Rikito Sennin over a millennium ago. Hiruzen said, getting shocked expression from everyone, including Danzo. So he was a prodigy hiding in plain sight? Nara Shikaku, the Jonin commander and the head of the Nara clan, asked, for the first time outside a war, not sleeping through a council meeting. Shikamaru did say that there seemed to be something strange with Naruto-san. I thought he sensed the Kyuubi's presence within the boy. Now I think that he meant that Naruto-san was hiding his abilities. He had to have been. No one else, especially a dead last academy student, could sneak into Anbu HQ, dye many of the uniforms orange, and then escape without being caught, let alone not leaving behind any traces that we could point to him, even if we know that he was the one who did it. The Anbu commander, a male wearing a dragon mask, said, getting nods from the rest of the ninja council. True, Even if I do not like the fact that he snuck into my clan compound and stole our underwear right under the noses of the guards who periodically scan the area with the Byakugan. I still don't know how he did it, but his stealth is impressive. Hyuga Hayashi said, getting shocked expressions from everyone present. Anyway, that is not what I called all of you here for. I have a few documents for you to review before I tell you the agenda of the meeting. Hiruzen said before he motioned for an Anbu to distribute the papers in the folder. The council took a few minutes to pursue the documents before Danzo calmly placed his copy on the desk. He was sabotaged and he realized it. He is a textbook example of a shinobi. Danzo said with a bit of pride before chuckling, causing every ninja to give the old warhawk a wary glance. Are you alright, Danzo? Hiruzen asked, only for Danzo to laugh aloud. Alright, I am better than alright. I wanted to train him to be what he has become without help. He understands the darkness of the world and uses the shadows to cloak himself, though I should have expected it, with his heritage. Danzo said, causing Hiruzen to inwardly panic. What heritage? Wasn't he an orphan that Yondaime-sama picked randomly? A civilian woman asked, getting a scoff from Danzo. If the reports of his strength are true, and I have no reason to doubt it, then there is no reason to hide his heritage for fear of his safety from his parents' enemies. I have been meaning to ask Hokage-sama. My daughter came to me last night and said that you confirmed that young Uzumaki-san is in truth the son of the Akaichishio no Habanero? Yamanaka Inoishi, the head of the Yamanaka clan, asked, getting a nod from Hiruzen. Then his father was the Kairosenko, wasn't he? Aburame Shibi, the head of the Aburame clan, asked. After all, it is logical. Kushina-san and Minato-sama were known to spend a lot of time together, with rumors of them dating floating about. I hate the Aburame logic and Nara intelligence. All of you deduce things that I want to keep hidden from the barest of details. Shikaku had already deduced his heritage long before now. I am surprised that you hadn't, Shibi-kun. Hiruzen said, getting shocked gasps from the civilians. So what about it, Hiruzen? Are you still going to keep him from his inheritance? He may be able to master the higher shin if he gets hold of his father's notes, not to mention his parents' sealing skills by studying their notes. I foresee the birth of the Nidaime Kairosenko. Danzo said, getting a look of realization on Hiruzen's face. So the old warhawk is after the higher shin? Not while I am alive. I need to remember to warn Naruto-kun about him. Hiruzen was about to speak when a knock interrupted him. Come in. At the Hokage's command, Nico and Kakashi walked into the chamber escorting Naruto, who looked attentive, and Sakura, who looked nervous. Thank you, Nico. Kakashi-kun, you two may leave now, or if you want, take you clan seat, Kakashi-kun. Kakashi thought for a moment before he walked to the Hotake seat and sat down. Good of you to finally join us, Kakashi. Inuzuketsume said with a fanged grin, causing Kakashi to nod in return. Now, as I was about to say, I had planned to tell him when he reached Jonin, but now with his strength, I can reveal it to him without fear. Hiruzen said, getting a nod from the council. Naruto-san, it has come to our attention that you have achieved Senin Modo. Can you give us a demonstration of your sensory abilities? Inoishi asked, getting a nod from Naruto, surprising the man. He expected him to wax lyrical about himself and his abilities, as he is known to do. Naruto closed his eyes and took a deep breath before releasing it. Repeating the motion a few times, Naruto suddenly opened his eyes to reveal orange pigmentation around them, with the pupil being a horizontal bar and the eyes had changed color to a yellow instead of the vibrant blue it usually is. Jiraiya is standing beside the door under a cloaking jutsu. There are 4 Anbu spread around the room, with 2 more behind the bandaged man who seems have no emotions. Then there are the 6 Anbu outside the room hanging from the ceiling, with 2 more emotionless Anbu waiting by the door. The civilians here are fearful, probably of me. Then there are the Anbu who brought me here. His chakra felt stiff like earth yet flowing like water. He may have water and earth affinities, though his chakra feels like the 2 affinities are merged together with hints of life energy flowing through it. Naruto said, getting shocked expressions from everyone present. Inoue knew that good sensors could pick up hints of emotion from the flow of chakra, but to notice the elemental affinities including the sub-elemental affinities was astounding. The man with the white eyes has a feeling of stiffness in his chakra as well, so he must have earth affinity as well. Hayashi nodded in agreement. The man with spiky pineapple hair and scar on his face who looks like an older Shikamaru has a feeling of insubstantiality in his chakra, probably why they can manipulate shadows. Your own feels more spiritual but insubstantial as well. The big-boned man has a strong flow of life energy along with the stiffness I associate with earth. Inoue nodded in understanding of what Naruto meant. Then the man with his face half covered in his Hittite his own feels like it will shock anyone who comes in contact with it. Then there is the eye he is hiding underneath the Hittite. It feels foreign. Probably a transplant, though the level of chakra in it tells me that it is a constantly active dojutsu. Naruto said while pointedly looking at Danzo's right arm, causing the man to nervously stare back. After a staring at each other of a couple of moments that was ignored by everyone except Jiraiya and Hiruzen, Danzo interrupted, "I think that concludes demonstration. It is impressive how much details you can perceive with your sensory abilities. I do not think I have heard of any sensor being able to sense anything other than negative emotions. Your ability will be a boon in the field for reconnaissance and tracking missions. Tell me, can you sense the chakra trails left behind as well?" "If I concentrate enough, then yes," Naruto said with a guarded tone, causing Danzo to nod. "And the range?" Hayashi asked, getting a calculative stare from Naruto. After a few moments Naruto said, "At the moment I can sense the whole of Konoha. If I concentrate, I may be able to sense a few more miles out." "What? But that's impossible. Even the sharpest Byakugan would fall short of the outer districts of Konoha from here." "There is nothing impossible in this world. Have your sharpest Byakugan ever been forced to be strained enough to increase the range?" Naruto said with a cold tone, causing a shiver to run down Hayashi's spine. Danzo and Hiruzen hid a smile. "Thank you for that enlightening demonstration, Naruto-san," Shibi said, causing Naruto to nod in appreciation. "Will you give us a demonstration of the Kyuubi's power?" Danzo said, getting shocked and worried expressions from the counselors. "What are you talking about, Elder Danzo? Why would you want the Kyuubi to be free? It will kill us as soon as Naruto-san releases it." A civilian cried in fear, only for a strong killing intent to causing the man to freeze in fear. "I would appreciate if you didn't treat the fox as a dumb beast hell-bent on killing. He is a sentient being just like you and me. It is behavior like that which had tainted Kurama's heart with hatred of humans. I worked very hard to dispel that hatred, so I would appreciate it if you did not give him reason to start hating humans again. Also, do not insult my friend. It was hard to befriend him, but he is a good friend, an honorable one as well. I know details about the attack that none but my father and mother knew," Naruto said, getting surprised looks from everyone except Sakura. "Baka, you weren't supposed to tell the world that you know who your father is," Sakura exclaimed before she saw the looks she was getting and blushed in embarrassment. Naruto released his killing intent from the civilian, causing him to faint on the spot. "How long have you two known about Naruto's parents and how?" Hiruzen asked with a serious tone, causing Sakura to gulp in fear. "I met their chakra imprints in my mindscape when I was trying to mastering Kurama's power last summer. They left the imprints to help me with the process. I told Sakura-chan about them since she is my closest friend. I also know that old pervert over there is my godfather, thanks for the closer Osenin. Your mother's chakra imprint told you to call me that, didn't she?" Jiraiya asked with a flat tone, causing Naruto to grin and nod. "I should have known. Only Kushina would do something like that. Even from beyond the grave, she torments me with that accursed nickname." "Why did you ask me if you were related to Kushina-chan yesterday, if you already knew?" Hiruzen asked with confusion, only for Naruto to stare at him with an equally serious expression. "I wanted to see if you would hide that knowledge from me or not. If you did, then I would have put you down as having malicious intents with me. It was a test to see if I could trust you, as in the shinobi world, nothing is as simple as what it seems. Naruto said, getting an understanding nod from the Shinobi Council, while Danzo looked at him with barely hidden happiness. The other two elders looked at him pride. The female elder, Koharu, commented, "You remind me of Tobirama-sensei with Hashirama-sensei's happy-go-lucky nature mixed in. Now that I am in your presence, you even have the same presence as Hashirama-sensei." "Thank you for the compliment, but may I ask what was the real agenda of the council meeting? I do not think this was it," Naruto said with a cheeky grin, causing everyone to face fault at getting this distracted from the true agenda. "Ahem, you are right, Naruto-kun. The meeting was about informing the council of your status as a fully realized Jinchuriki and a Sennin. Then I was planning to discuss the merits and demerits of releasing your heritage to the world so you may go. There shouldn't be any discussion. I understand that you want to protect me, but revealing my heritage and status as a fully realized Jinchuriki has more merits than demerits. True, that my parents' enemies could target me, but it is not as if I cannot defend myself. Revealing that would instead causing our enemies to fear, angering us while reassuring our allies of our power. It may even prevent our allies from betraying us out of fear of us retaliating. It would also bring in more missions and allies to us," Naruto said, getting a shocked look from everyone, including Sakura, who did not know that Naruto was this good with politics. "That is a very good proposition. It is true that many minor villages fear to attack Kumo, and even though Kari is embroiled in a civil war, Yagura's status as a cage-level ninja and a fully realized Jinchuriki prevents overzealous minor villages from attacking them," Danzo said with an approving nod of his head. "Are you sure that you want to take the risk, Naruto-kun? You will be in grave danger," Hiruzen asked, only for Naruto to gently refute him. "You are letting your affection for me prevent you from looking at the bigger picture, Gigi. What is a shinobi?" Naruto said, getting a look of realization from Jiraiya and Kakashi. Seeing the confused looks from everyone, Naruto continued, "A shinobi is one who endures. I am a shinobi. Moreover, I am a shinobi who aspires to become Hokage. If I am afraid to put my life on the line for my village and country, then I don't deserve the Hittite I am proudly wearing on my forehead." Shikaku nodded in understanding. "I see what you mean, Naruto-san. You are willing to take the burden of being Konoha's face to the world with your very presence deterring other nations from thinking of invading us. You are banking on your status as a fully realized Jinchuriki, a sage, the last Uzumaki, and finally the son of the Kairosenka to be the deterrent, and if that fails, you plan to use the power you have to silence those who would dare to even look at Konoha with a malicious light in their eyes." Naruto nodded in agreement, getting a sigh from Hiruzen while approving nods from the rest of the Shinobi Council. "That is a plan worthy of Tobirama-sensei, and the determination you show in carrying out that plan shows me glimpses of Hashirama-sensei. I approve of your proposal," Hamura said, getting a nod from Koharu and Danzo. The rest of the Shinobi Council except Kakashi voiced their agreement with respect. "I feel that it is unwise of you to place yourself at risk just yet, Naruto. As your father's sole surviving student, I must protest to this plan," Kakashi said with worry, only for Naruto to chuckle. "If you were my father's pupil, then you know that I won't back down from a small threat to my life. He entrusted Kurama to me so that I could master the use of his power. I have done it, so now it is my turn to provide Konoha with the same visage my father portrayed." Kakashi thought for a moment before nodding in agreement. "Though I don't like it, I will accept your decision. I rescind my objection to the plan," Kakashi said, causing Hiruzen to hang his head in defeat. "What about you, Jiraiya? He is your godson. Though I would prefer he didn't do this, it is undeniable that he is a better and greater sage than me, Fukasaku-sensei and Shima-sensei. That along with his taijutsu skills put him solidly in the category of a low A-rank jonin. He has an A-rank genjutsu under his belt. With his understanding of Kage Bunshin and the level of wind manipulation he can do in Sennin Modo, I would not want to fight against him. With Kubai, he is easily S-rank in power. If he concentrates a bit in his ninjutsu, with the help of Kage Bunshin, he would be S-rank in skill by the end of the year. So I shall support him in his personally proposed mission." Jiraiya said with a proud smile, getting a nod from Hiruzen. Alright, I shall allow it. Your heritage and status as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki will be revealed right after the meeting is concluded. Anbu, call a general assembly of the populace. An Anbu appeared and bowed to Hiruzen before vanishing in a Konoha Shunshin. Now Sakura-chan, may I ask why did you hide your skills? It is uncommon for an academy student from civilian backgrounds to be as strong as you are. Naruto has been helping me get stronger. That is the only truth, Hokage-sama, Sakura said while inwardly sweating in fear of her lie being caught. After a moment's scrutiny, Hiruzen nodded. Alright Sakura-chan, you, Naruto-kun and the civilian council may go now. Hiruzen said, causing the civilians to get up and leave. Before they all left, the head of the civilian council turned to Naruto and bowed. Naruto-sama, please forgive us for our transgressions against you. The man said, getting shocked looks from some of the shinobi council. What's in the past is in the past. Let us head towards a brighter future and not bring up painful memories. I can understand your pain to a certain degree and your fear. There is no need to ask for my forgiveness. Naruto said, getting shocked looks from the civilians and shinobi alike while Danzo watched with a calculative expression on his face. The civilians bowed before heading out of the room. That isn't something you see every day, Tsume said with a gruff laugh, getting chuckles from Choza and Jiraiya. Sakura and Naruto were about to walk out of the council chamber when Naruto suddenly stopped. I have been meaning to ask, does the Uzumaki clan have a council seat in Konoha? Everyone looked surprised at the inquiry, but Danzo replied, they do not, but the alliance charter between Konoha and Uzashio states that if a branch of the Uzumaki clan were to form in Konoha, they would be given a council seat. Why do you ask, Naruto-san? Do you plan to recreate the Uzumaki clan in the future? That should be obvious. As if I would let my clan die out. Naruto said with a scoff. Thank you for your consideration of my proposal. With his piece said, Naruto walked out of the council chambers with Sakura in tow. That gaki has a very heavy presence. A similar presence to what you had during the Second Shinobi World War, sensei. Jiraiya said, getting a nod of agreement from Koharu, Hamura, and Danzo. Hiruzen hummed and thought before he sighed and turned back to the council. What news do you have on Iwa, Jiraiya? I want to be prepared for the fallout of the reveal. Hiruzen said, causing everyone to become serious. Naruto and Sakura had just entered his home when Sakura smacked Naruto on the back of his head. What the hell were you playing at, Naruto? I thought we wouldn't be changing the past too much. What reason did we come back if we aren't going to be changing the past, and since our powers have already been revealed to a certain degree, we should just use it to our advantage. Yesterday, I think I was able to convince Sasuke that being a lone wolf would only end in disaster. I offered to help him get stronger. He said he would think about it. I hope that we will be able to keep him out of Orochimaru's hands now. That could already have changed the future by a great degree. Kurama guided me what to do in the council chambers. He said something about showing the qualities that is desirable in a leader. That would help me gain allies on the council, which would then help when the time came to hunt down Akatsuki. I decided to follow Kurama's lead. Sakura nodded in understanding before she said, then why didn't you reveal Danzo? He is useful at the moment. While I hate manipulations, Kurama and I decided make Danzo think that I share similar ideologies with him. That will cause him to lower his guard. And when his guard is down, I will take him out in a single fell swoop. Sakura gulped at the serious expression on Naruto's face as she faintly blushed. Shaking her head to clear out unnecessary thoughts, Sakura said, that is risky, but so you. Naruto nodded in agreement when something occurred to him, causing him to become pale as a corpse. Seeing his pallid expression, Sakura became concerned. You alright, Naruto? Naruto just nodded, yeah, but I don't think I will be soon. Sakura raised an eyebrow in confusion when Naruto continued, Gigi is about to reveal my heritage within the hour. So? I thought you would be happy to finally be able to tell the world who your parents are? You don't understand. As soon as my heritage is revealed, the whole of Konoha will start treating me as the son of the Yondaime instead of Uzumaki Naruto. They will ignore who I am and the fangirls. I know I laughed when Sasuke was hounded by fangirls, but now I will be the one running away. Naruto exclaimed, hyperventilating only for Sakura to smash a fist onto Naruto's head. Calm down, Baka. Very few treat you as Uzumaki Naruto. Most of the elder populace treats you as Kurama, while our generation treats you as an annoying prankster. Instead of getting glares, you will be getting looks of awe. So what, just bear with it till you prove yourself as you did when you defeated Pain. And stop being so overdramatic about fangirls, they aren't that obsessive, and if you need help, I will bail you out. Sakura said with a face flushed with annoyance, causing Naruto to calm down. Thanks, Sakura-chan, I really needed that. Sakura nodded in appreciation as she asked, how should we proceed with our training? My medical skills are still the same level they were in the future, along with my chakra levels and control. Even my super strength is at the same level. The same can be said for you. The only drawback is our physical stamina. I tested out my own yesterday and found that it was greater than what I originally had at this age, but still behind the levels of fitness I had in the future. I think we should increase our physical abilities as well. You can barely hold Bijūmoto for a couple of minutes. That would be worse than useless. Naruto nodded in agreement. We can join Super Bushy-Brow Sensei and Bushy-Brows in their physical training regime. It would give us an excuse to our accelerated growth in stamina and physical skills. Gay Sensei and Lee's training regime, huh? If we were able to even follow a quarter of their insane routine, we would improve tremendously, and since I do not have Shizo here to help me, they will have to do. Do you think I should learn more ninjutsu? You should, you only have a couple of defensive and support Doton jutsu. Adding a few offensive ones and a few Suiton ninjutsu would only help you. I will need to learn the other 4 elements and then Futon, Yoton and Jiton I got from the other Bijū, and they entrusted me with their chakra. Even with Kage Bunshin, that will take a lot of time. Sakura nodded in agreement as Naruto continued, then I also have to train with Pa and Ma to master the Toad-style ninjutsu and the various collaboration ninjutsu with summoned toads. Not to mention mastering Senin Moto like Gamamaru Jiji said. I will have my hand full with them. You will also be picking up Fuinjutsu, it was your clan specialty after all. Sakura said, getting a groan from Naruto, who had collapsed on his couch. Sakura sat down beside him, patted his head, and said with a giggle, there, it isn't that bad a situation. You will just have to abuse the hell out of Kage Bunshin, and every time you collapse from brain trauma, I will heal you back up. With Kurama helping, I predict you will be up and annoying everyone the very next day. Naruto just glared at her before he yawned. He rested his head on the couch's headrest and started falling asleep. Still feeling tired, huh? Sakura asked, getting a sleepy nod as Naruto fell into a deeper sleep. Sakura watched him sleeping for a few moments before with a fond smile. He looks cute when he sleeps. How come I never noticed it before? Sakura thought to herself as she absently ran a hand through Naruto's messy blonde hair before she quickly brought her hand back with a massive blush adorning her face. What the hell am I doing? This is Naruto, the noble Baka known to do the impossible, but still the Baka. A treacherous part of her mind whispered, but he is you, Baka. He still hasn't given up on you. But Hinata already declared her feelings to him. Sakura argued with her inner self only for the inner self to refute, that was in the future, and even then Naruto didn't act on her confession. He had already gained a lot of respect after defeating Pain, and everyone had learned of his burden. He didn't have any excuse to not date her, yet he didn't. But I love Sasuke? Do you, or did you love the idea of healing his broken heart? Moreover, I doubt you will be attracted to Sasuke as he is now. You and Naruto are both older in mind than body. You both will have difficulty in accepting someone your physical age, as they will not be mature enough mentally. Not to mention you did not refute Yondaime Sama's claims of you being Naruto's girlfriend when he first appeared on the battlefield with the other reincarnated Hokage and Sasuke. But how would I refute that when his dead father was happy thinking he had a girlfriend? It would have made Yondaime Sama sad. Would it, or did you secretly like being called Naruto's girlfriend? I don't like Naruto like that. Sakura argued with her inner self only to get a scoff from her, causing Sakura to hesitate for a moment. Do I? That is something you need to find out yourself. Even if I told you, you won't agree with me, even though I am a part of your psyche. Inner Sakura said before she went quiet, leaving Sakura to mull over the direction her thoughts had taken. While mulling over her thoughts, Sakura slowly fell asleep on the couch with her head resting on Naruto's shoulder. The sound of giggling reached the ears of two sleepy people. A pair of mesmerizing cerulean eyes opened to see Jiraiya standing in front of them, writing in a small notepad while giggling. "Uro-sennin, what are you doing?" Naruto asked as he tried to get up, only for a weight on his left side to hold him down. At the same time, Sakura groaned and opened her emerald eyes only to see Naruto's confused cerulean eyes staring at her. "You two are a gold mine," Jiraiya said with a giggle, causing Sakura to realize the proximity she had with her time-traveling friend and jumped back with a red face. Naruto became fearful that Sakura was about to punish him when Sakura turned her wrath on Jiraiya. "You old pervert. You can change even the most innocent of situations into something perverted," Sakura screamed as she punched Jiraiya into a wall. As Jiraiya slid down the wall, he groaned out, "Damn, she's like a second coming of Tsunadeheim. I am still tired from the training I did yesterday. We fell asleep discussing how we were going to proceed with our training, got it?" Sakura said with a menacing aura. Jiraiya nodded in agreement, not wanting to feel the wrath of the girl with super strength. "How did you get in here anyway, Uro-sennin?" Naruto asked when he saw that Sakura was not about to beat him up for falling asleep beside her. Jiraiya perked up at Naruto's question and said, "Oh right, Sensei wants you in his office tomorrow morning to pick up the documents pertaining to your heritage and inheritance when you go to pick up your ninja registration card. Now get up and dress in the formal kimono I placed on your bed. We need to get to the Hokage mansion soon. Sensei is about to announce your heritage and status," Jiraiya said, getting a nod from Naruto. "What should I do, Jiraiya-sama?" Sakura asked, getting a thoughtful look from the old pervert. "I want you to head to the hospital tomorrow. Sensei has arranged for you to take an exam to evaluate your skills as an Ronin. If you pass, you will become a certified Ronin. The level of clearance you will have will depend on your skill and marks. Now get home, change into something comfortable, and head to the assembly. If I know Sensei, he is going to scold the older populace, so be ready for a long-winded speech." Sakura nodded before she vanished in a puff of smoke and leaves. Hiruzen was standing at the edge of the roof looking out at the sea of faces moving about in front of the Hokage mansion. He could hear the civilians standing talking to each other, moving about in the crowd. The ninja on the other hand were standing in close-knit groups whispering to their comrades while looking about for probable threats. The newly minted genin were standing at the front of the crowd and looking up in confusion, all except Sakura, who was out of her usual ninja gear and was now wearing a long red kippah with a silver slug embroidery running all over the dress. Hiruzen saw that unlike her former classmates, she had come armed with a kunai holster peeking from the slits in the kippah. Hiruzen also noticed a medical pouch hanging from her waist. She has a completely different demeanor from her fellow genin. Is it alright of me to put her with Naruto-kun? It would disrupt the balance of the team. Hiruzen thought with a pensive expression when Jiraiya and Naruto arrived in Akanoa Shunshin. Hiruzen turned to greet the two but was stunned at how Naruto looked. Naruto was wearing a white kimono that highlighted his blonde hair. An embroidery of a fox with 9 tails with its tails wrapping around the hems was done in deep crimson thread. A toad, done in gold thread, was seen sitting on the fox's head with a yellow halo-like appearance around its body as if it had flashed onto the fox's head. A large Uzumaki swirl was embroidered in red thread on the back. Naruto's messy hair seemed to be spiking up at random places, giving him a wild appearance. Hiruzen could easily see the resemblance the boy had with his parents with a bit of his own uniqueness thrown in. "You look handsome, Naruto-kun. Where did you get that kimono?" Hiruzen asked, getting a shrug from the boy. "Don't know, Gigi, Uro-sennin gave it to me." Hiruzen turned to Jiraiya only to see the white-haired Sannin wiping away its air from his eye. It was commissioned by Kushina a couple of months before she died. I had the embroiders tweaked a bit after they died. Kushina wanted this to be the kimono he was to wear when he was formally introduced as the Uzumaki clan heir. I thought it was time for him to wear it. Kushina had personally embroidered the fox onto the kimono. Jiraiya said, getting a shocked look from Naruto and a happy one from Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, everyone is assembled. Nico said as she appeared beside the Hokage in a Konoha Shunshin. Hiruzen nodded and walked forward towards the edge of the roof. Everyone quieted down when everyone saw the Hokage preparing to speak. It is rare that I call a village-wide assembly. Normally it spells the sharing of bad news, while at rare times good news is shared. Luckily, this time, it is the latter at least to some, but before I share the news, I must say that I am greatly disappointed in many of you. Hashirama-sensei created this village so that everyone would be treated with respect and equality. He created this village so that the children could live happy lives away from the darkness that permeates the world. He would be extremely depressed at what Konoha has become now. Hiruzen said, getting confused looks from everyone present. Is this the Konoha our beloved Yondaime sacrificed himself for? A village that would spit on his last request and victimize a hero who had unwillingly taken on a burden far greater than most understand, a village who would mentally and physically torture a young child due to ignorance and malice for something he did not have any control over. A village that would victimize the son of the very man you idolize. Hiruzen said, getting confused looks from the younger generation while the older generation gasped in shock while a handful denied that statement. Hiruzen let the crowd calm down a bit before he continued. I don't know how the child remained sane, how he can still put his life on the line for a village that has spited him so. I know that if I were in his position, I would have probably tried to destroy the village and succeeded with the power that was sealed within the child. Young ones, all who were too young to remember the Kyuubi attack or were born after it, I have a confession to make. The day the Kyuubi attacked, the Yondaime did not kill it. No living man can kill it permanently. Within 9 years, the beast would have been back. Therefore, the Yondaime did what was the only sure way to defeat a being like the Kyuubi. He sealed it in a newborn child at the cost of his own soul. With his dying breath, he asked that the child be seen as the hero he is, instead of the beast sealed within him. Who is the child, Hokage-sama? Many of the younger generation asked with curiosity when Hiruzen did not continue. After a few moments, Hiruzen motioned for someone to walk forward. As Naruto came into view, the younger generation looked stunned while many of the older generation looked at him with neutral faces while some stared with anger. Only a handful stared at him with respect. This is the child. He has bared the burden of holding back the malice of the Kyuubi while also suffering under the malice and negligence directed at him from the village he is protecting. Surprisingly, he has been able to remove the malice from the heart of the Kyuubi and befriended the beast to the point that the fox would work with Naruto-kun here to protect the village. He has done what his father entrusted him to do. I give you Uzumaki Naruto, the Kyuubi Jinchuriki and the son of the Yondaime Hokage, Namikaze Minato, and the Akaichishio no Habanero, Uzumaki Kushina, the present heir of the now nearly extinct Uzumaki clan. Hiruzen said, getting shocked looks from everyone except those who already knew. Naruto-kun here has decided to take on an S-rank mission to become the face of Konoha. He shall be the bar that the other nations shall judge us from now on. Even without the power of the Kyuubi, Naruto-kun is as strong as a rookie jonin. With the Kyuubi, he rivals the Sannin and me. He has decided to be what his father stood for, a deterrent against war with enemies and a beacon of hope for our allies and us. I am giving him the honorary title of Bijū Sennin for he himself is a sage who has developed a unique style of Senjutsu and then recreated the Toad style without help along with all privileges attached with the rank. Officially, he shall remain a genin to gain experience working in teams. Now let's hear a cheer for the hero of Konoha. Hiruzen said, getting a cheer from the younger generation and most of the elder generation as well. Only the most die-hard civilians still disapproved of Naruto. All of you are now dismissed. Hiruzen said, causing most of the people to leave the area, only leaving behind the clan heirs from Naruto's year, and Sakura with a few Jonin, Takubutsu Jonin and a lone Chunin. Naruto-kun, Jiraiya will show you to your clan home. It is protected by blood seals that only an Uzumaki can penetrate. Unfortunately, your parents' home was destroyed during the Kyuubi's attack. I was able to salvage some of their things and their personal jutsu notes from the wreckage. I will give them to you tomorrow. Now I must get back to the blasted paperwork. Ever since I started using Kage Bunshin, my load of paperwork seems to have tripled. Sure thing, Gigi, have fun slaying paperwork. Naruto said with a cheeky grin, causing the old Kage to grumble about smart-ass blonde brats and self-replicating paperwork before he vanished in a puff of smoke. Soro-senin, where is the Uzumaki clan compound? Let's get down from here and I will take you there. Mind you, the only time I have been there was on the day of your parents' marriage, so I don't know in what condition it is in now. Jiraiya said as he and Naruto jumped down from the roof and landed in front of the gathered clan heirs and Sakura. So you have a gigantic, evil, demonic, nine-tailed fox sealed in your stomach? Ino asked with a curious tone. Naruto nodded in confusion when Ino smirked. No wonder you eat that much ramen and you are so short. The fox must be taking in all the nutrients, making you hungrier and not growing at all. Everyone face-faulted at Ino's comment before Sakura screamed, that isn't the reason he is short, he doesn't eat nutritious food. Without proper nutrition, no one will ever reach their full potential. What's up with you, forehead? I was just making a comment. Ino said, causing Sakura to growl in anger. My goal is to surpass Tsunade-sama both as an Ronin and a combat medic. I make it my business to correct anyone who gives the wrong idea to my patients. Sakura said, getting a smirk from Ino and Jiraiya while a frown graced Hinata's face. I always thought something was wrong with the way people behaved with you, I just never realized why. You must have a very strong mental fortitude to remain sane with the amount of hatred and negligence the populace directed at you. Naruto nodded in appreciation of Shikamaru's compliment. But don't think I will treat you any different just because you have held the Kyuubi at base since you were born or because you are Yondaime-sama's son. I will keep treating you as I have you, troublesome blonde. Everyone present nodded in agreement, even the shy Hinata and the boisterous Kiba. Thanks guys. You do not know how much this means to me. I want to be recognized for my achievements, not my father's. The only reason I wanted it revealed now was to direct Iwa and Kumo's eyes onto me instead of Konoha. That is a daring chance you took, Naruto-san. You are just a genin, even if you are titled a senin. It is logical to let the elder generation to keep the eyes of our enemies on them while we have time to grow into the role. Shino said, getting a nod from everyone except Sasuke and Sakura. The day I mastered Kurama's power was the day I chose to become the protector of Konoha. Other than me, both of Kumo's Jinchuriki are fully realized ones. The Yondaime Mizukage is supposed to be one as well. Besides, my father entrusted me with Kurama for a reason, if not for this, then why? Naruto said, getting reluctant nods from everyone. You kids should understand that sensei never did something without a reason. Beside, none but an Uzumaki can hold the Kyuubi. No one has the physical capabilities to hold such a powerful entity. The kids turned around to see Kakashi standing behind them. You did a hell of a job, kid. I can see why father has so much belief in you. You did something that was thought to be impossible. A bearded jonin smoking a cigarette said. Seeing the confused looks on everyone's faces, he said, I am sorry, Tobia-sama. Sandaime-sama is my father. Yosh, your flames of youth burn brighter than the sun, make sure to never let it go out. A green spandex-clad jonin said, getting sweat drops from everyone present. Ah, thank you, I think. Naruto said with a strained grin on his face. The green spandex-clad jonin nodded. The rest of the gathered jonin and Takubutsu jonin just shook their heads in exasperation. Gay, please refrain from corrupting the next generation with your flames of youth ideology. You already have corrupted your apprentice. A man wearing a bandana said with a severe expression on his face. The name's Yuikura and I. These are my friends Inuzuka Hana, Yuzuki Yujao, and Mitarashi Anko. We commend you on decision to become the face of Konoha. That is a noble thing. I don't think I would be able to do that if I was in your position. A jonin with red eyes said while pointing towards a woman from the Inuzuka clan wearing the chunin vest, a purple-haired woman wearing Anbu armor and another purple-haired woman with her hair done in the style of a pineapple, wearing a fishnet armor under a tan trench coat. The three women nodded in agreement with the gathered of Takubutsu jonin nodding with them. One of the gathered Takubutsu jonin, one biting on a senbon, walked forward and patted Naruto on his back. Your father helped three of us learn a variant of his higher shin, the Hiragen no Jutsu. If you plan to learn his one, just come find me. It would be my honor to help you learn it. The name's Shiranui Genma, you can find me in the Jonin Long. Thank you, I will be sure to find you when I try and learn the higher shin, Naruto said with gratitude when Jiraiya finally spoke up. Good of you all to show support of him, but we must be going. We do not know in what condition the Uzumaki clan compound is in, so we may have a lot of work to do. We must be going now. Everyone nodded in understanding before saying goodbye and leaving, all except Sakura and the purple-haired woman wearing Anbu armor. How about I come and help? Then I can make sure that the Baka doesn't fill his fridge with ramen again, Sakura said, causing Naruto to grumble. I will come along as well. I have been there many times when Kushina-sensei was alive. I remember spending hours practicing my kenjutsu under Kushina-sensei's experienced eyes, sometimes staying there with her, so I would be a great help in showing Naruto-kun around. So you are the same Yujao-chan Kushina always speaking of. She always said you would go far. Seeing that you are in Anbu, I think Kushina would have been proud of you. I believe that Kushina had a special sword forged just for you, while she was pregnant with Naruto. I will hand it to you tomorrow, Jiraiya said with a grin, getting a smile from the purple-haired Anbu. Mother was a kenjutsu practitioner? Naruto asked in shock, getting a nod from Jiraiya and Yujao. The foremost kenjutsu expert in Konoha, I learned a lot of the basics from her. Her style, the Shinomai, was as graceful as it was deadly. Unfortunately, from what I can see, you do not seem to have the right type of body to use her kenjutsu style. A pity really, but the scrolls she wrote on her style are stored at the Uzumaki clan archives. Maybe in the future, a child of yours will be able to learn the style, Yujao said with a fond smile, getting a sad nod from Naruto. But don't worry. You have the perfect body type to learn the Uzumaki clan taijutsu style. I just cannot seem to remember the name of the style, but I know it was brutal. It used the advantages of U-clan's great stamina and chakra reserve to efficient use. I remember the sound of breaking bones emanating from the other side of the privacy wall of a public onsen we were bathing in, when she realized a pervert was spying on us. I remember her call the pervert Urosenin and that she was going to put him in critical care. Jiraiya paled and started to sweat in fear of Yujao realizing that it was him Kushina had beaten that fateful day. Naruto and Sakura shared a smirk when Yujao said that she wanted to beat the pervert as well, but Kushina had not told her who he was. Urosenin, shame on you, you spied on my mother and her student while they were bathing. Mother must be at least 20 years younger than you while Yujao-san is at least 30. Naruto said with Sakura snickering as Yujao turned a murderous glare at the white-haired Sannin, who had become pale as a corpse. So it was you. Be happy that I do not have my katana with me now, or I would be punishing you for your past transgressions against sensei and me. If I find you by any onsen, I will make sure that you no longer remain a man, got it? Yujao asked with menacing expression, getting a scared nod from Jiraiya. Yujao smiled and nodded before turning to Sakura and Naruto. We better get going. Kushina-sensei said the seals maintained the compound, but I do not know what condition it is in now that the seals have not been maintained of the past 12 years. We are still tired today, so it is better if we have Naruto situated before I can return home to take a nap, Sakura said as she grabbed Naruto by the collar and dragged him behind her in a random direction. Yujao and Jiraiya smirked at the scene. That reminds me of Minato and Kushina after Minato saved Kushina from her abductors. Jiraiya said, getting a smile from Yujao. You think they like each other? Everyone knows that Naruto-kun has a crush on the girl. Her behavior is new, though from what I have gathered, they have been close for a long time now. They are very good. None of us ever realized that they were wearing a mask. Even now, they hide what they can truly do. So I do not know if the girl realized that she likes him or not. Then there is the Hyuga heiress as well. Everyone knows that she has a crush on Naruto-kun, but he either doesn't realize it or he isn't interested in her like that. Jiraiya nodded in understanding before he said with a grin, should we tell them that they are going the wrong way? Let them wander a bit more before we tell them. I still have to get back at the Gaki for dyeing my Anbu uniform pink that one time. I still do not know how he infiltrated Anbu HQ, but I know that the commander has been having the new recruits searching the whole place for his infiltration point. It's been a year now, but we are still not close to figuring out how he did it. Yujao said with a miffed tone. Jiraiya laughed. He would be great spy master in the future if he didn't take the position as Konoha's public face. Yujao giggled as the two followed Sakura and Naruto. So guys, that's it for today. If you like this story and want more, so subscribe and turn on the bell icon. And till then, take care and goodbye.